Lovecraft Country, HBO's new horror series built on pulp fiction and Jim Crow Americana, teems with creepy moments, but even more with literary and pop culture references. A pastiche of the many horror, supernatural fantasy, sci-fi, adventure, and superhero tropes that filled mid-century American life, Lovecraft Country places black characters at the forefront of those stories and watches how they shift as a result. In Lovecraft Country, it's the cosmic terror that's banal. Racism in daily life is the true existential dread. Even the show's title is a reference to H.P. Lovecraft, the man whose work is synonymous with weird fiction, the subgenre of horror fixated on cosmic dread, and which infuses nearly all modern horror. Unfortunately, Lovecraft was also horrifically racist, and the new TV series is an attempt to acknowledge the debt that modern horror owes to him while repudiating the racism at the center of his work. The series is closely based on Matt Ruff's 2016 horror novel of the same name, which Ruff wrote in response to the wider cultural debate about how to handle Lovecraft. Both the book and the show use a vast array of pop culture references to make you constantly aware that they are aware of the tropes they're playing with. The series' first episode is especially overt in this regard. The entire opening sequence is a mid-century American geek stream, full of aliens and heroes and a stirring voiceover, that is, itself, a reference. This technique of using radio and musical voiceovers to narrate and underscore the action is one the show uses throughout its first season, and it's just one more element that makes Lovecraft Country so fascinating. Below, we break down each of the main references and callouts of Episode 1, Sundown. Jackie Robinson. The opening monologue we hear in the first sequence of Sundown is a quote from the 1950 biopic The Jackie Robinson Story, a rosy recounting of the first officially acknowledged black baseball player to join the major leagues. This is the story of a boy and his dream. The narrator recounts as our hero, Atticus, a.k.a. Tick, literally dreams of fighting a war, first against enemies in the trenches, and then against giant UFOs and flying Cthulhus. But more than that, it is the story of an American boy and dream that is truly American. A Princess of Mars, probably. HBOA Princess of Mars by Edgar Rice BurroughsThis is the book we see Tick reading on the bus in Sundown, the book that's prompted his fantastical dream sequence. Written by Edgar Rice Burroughs of Tarzan fame, A Princess of Mars is the first installment of the series of sci-fi adventure novels known as the John Carter series. They're also known as the Barsoom series, so named for the alien land that Carter, a Virginia gentleman and Confederate general, encounters when he unexpectedly finds himself on Mars. In Tick's dream, he greets a beautiful alien who descends from a UFO, a likely reference to the book's titular princess.